now the goal that I made it here is to become one of the elite quarterbacks that played for Hawaii. And it's not good enough just to be on the team or just to be starting now. It's now how much more I can improve my game. And so I'm excited. I think we're going to do very awesome this year.
I hope you're all having a pleasant evening. He's a walk-on turned starter last season. It's not official yet this season, but most expect Lelehua graduate Bryant Moniz to reclaim top spot as quarterback for the UH football team. And he's still listed as a walk-on. Warriors Jr. missed most of spring drills, handling some personal issues. He played in 10 games in 2009, making 8 starts. As a sophomore, Moniz threw for 2,396 yards and 14 touchdowns. Also proved he can run with the ball. He's jacked because this year's receiving core is deep.
Oh, weapons, weapons, weapons. I think just about every one of them can make one-arm grabs, the amazing catches. If they can catch the hard ones, they can catch the easy ones.
After watching game film and analyzing what you did last season, what in your mind needs to get better from your perspective?
Completions, completions, completions.
Let's get it, baby! Let's get it!
The more we catch, the more completions, the more yards we're going to get. That's just going to lead to more touchdowns.
Are you thinking about how good not only you could be, how good this offense could be, how good this team could be?
It's not even about me, really. It's more about our offense, and I don't see why we can't make top 5, if not -- 1 in the nation this year with the weapons we have, the brains we have, with the coaching staff, Rolo and Miles put together. We just pretty much, we have the whole package right now. We just got to put it all together and show it during the season.
After this morning's second practice of fall camp, quarterback Kevin Spain, shoulder, linebacker Alema Tachibana, hamstring, and defensive back Tank Hopkins, groin, all removed from the roster due to injuries. Parker Paredes and Corey Nielsen, expected to join the team when school starts, were both called in early.
2 practices are in the books. The Warrior football team is anxiously awaiting tomorrow morning. That's when they finally get the chance to hit one another as they put on the pads. UH has just wrapped up practice this evening. Coach Max says the first few days are just to get back into the swing of things. But as they look ahead to tomorrow, players are excited to hit one another in a friendly way, of course. They'll get to do just that starting at 8.
We can't wait to get them on. So it's kind of the first day you start feeling out new guys and you start getting back into the groove. Even though spring isn't that far away, isn't that far back, it always feels good to get that first hit in.
I'm always excited for pads, so I always want to hit, whether it's with in kickoff, scout, I just like hitting.
I want to take a couple of legs, I want to take too many just to get back in, in that field of it. So.
Now the Warriors begin practicing with full pads next Friday. Now UH has just 27 days to prepare before the season opener at Aloha Stadium against national powerhouse USC. Kickoff for the nationally televised game on ESPN is 5 in the evening.
How you doing, everybody? Let's talk sports. The competition at quarterback this season for the UH football team wasn't supposed to be a competition at all, but because Bryant Moniz, who ended last season as the Warriors starting QB, took an indefinite leave of absence to deal with personal issues in the spring, the starting job is once again, at least in theory, up for grabs. Still, one would think that Moniz, who's now back with the squad for the start of fall camp, would have the inside track. The walk-on, who was delivering pizzas while flinging touchdown passes last year, started 8 of the last 9 games in 09, completing 57% of his passes for just under 2,400 yards and 14 TDs. The Lelehua grad says the humbling turbulence of the spring is now behind him, and he's rededicated to re-emerging as the man behind center.
Yeah, definitely stronger, just you learn a lot from everything you go through, trials and tribulations in life. And you just got to grow from it, and that's what I've done with this. And I think it's made me refocus a lot.
I think it should have, that something got taken away from him and understands the importance of it. And if he really wants it, we're going to do the right things and make this team as best as we can make it.
I got my head back on my shoulders, and I'm just kind of focused on my job and doing back to the little things, I was getting a little confident in myself and getting relaxed, but now it's back to the drawing board and back to the weight room and just all that price you got to pay to get where we want to be.
Now, speaking of quarterbacks, UH will move on this season without freshman Kevin Spain, who will undergo shoulder surgery. Sophomore Corey Nielsen will replace Spain on the 105-man fall roster. Practice, which is open to the public, runs tomorrow morning from 8:30 to 11 at Cook Field. Boise State football, heading into its final season with the WAC, will begin the year ranked number 5 according to the preseason USA Today coaches poll. The Broncos, who went 14-0 last year with a win in the Fiesta Bowl, will be moving over to the Mountain West Conference in 2011. UH will meet up with the Broncos November 6th in Boise. The number 1 team in the land to start, the team that was number 1 to end last year, Alabama. Ohio State is number 2, followed by Florida, Texas, and the Broncos. Georgia Tech, by the way, head coached by former Hawaii offensive coordinator Paul Johnson, is in the 17 spot. And remember, USC, who the Warriors will host to start this season September 2nd, not eligible for the coaches poll because of NCAA sanctions.